If you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you're considering doing a hair transplant, or at least have the idea of maybe doing one in the future. You've seen good hair transplant results on the internet, and you've seen shocking ones. And you just want to treat your hair in the best way possible, the way it deserves. So stick and keep watching this video, because I'll be sharing with you the #1 criteria that, in my opinion, you should consider in order to find the best and the most optimal hair transplant surgeon for your case. I don't know about you guys, but I've been impressed in the last couple of years by the huge advancements in the hair transplants industry. I mean, the technique, the instruments, the harvesting methods have been all perfected to the absolute. It feels like at the present time you could even screw your hair transplant even if you wanted to. But unfortunately, we keep seeing on the internet these shocking results, even from world-renowned surgeons. And in my opinion, it all boils down to not asking the right question, which is this surgeon the best for my particular type of hair loss? I have watched multiple hair transplant advice giving videos on the internet, and I feel like this criteria is so underappreciated and not well talked about. The majority of these videos are based around the surgeon himself. The before and afters, the way he presents himself, the transparency, but something that's equally as important, if not even more important, is how well does that surgeon perform on types of hair loss like yours. I'm gonna share with you my particular type of hair loss and who's the surgeon I'll be probably going with in the future, but for now let me give you an example. If you ask me about my personal opinion, I would definitely say that Dr. Jose Lorenzo from Injerto Capilar is the best hair transplant surgeon, in my opinion. But would I really choose him to do my hair transplant? Probably not. I'm not saying that Dr. Jose is bad, don't get me wrong. I mean, Dr. Jose really has hands of magic. He takes the most complicated and hardest cases with butchered donor areas, and I've even seen him doing a DUPA case once, and he basically brings them back from the dead. If you guys didn't know, DUPA is diffused unpatterned androgenic alopecia, and it's considered by a lot of hair transplant surgeons as a contraindication for doing any hair transplant surgery, because in DUPA, even the hair in the donor area is sensitive to DHT, so it wouldn't make any sense to transplant that hair in the front. But Dr. Jose, an amazing man, have managed to do such cases with DUPA, and he did it successfully, because you can watch these results. Again, I don't recommend anyone with DUPA considering doing a hair transplant. It's probably not a good idea. But if you have a complicated case, I can go as far as saying if you have a seemingly impossible case, Dr. Jose Lorenzo is the one for you. So now, what about me? I am a diffuse thinner. You probably can't see it now because I'm under the perfect light conditions and stuff, but I have diffuse thinning all over my scalp. So who am I going with? Well, I'm sure that the majority of you are familiar with this one. Dr. Juan Couto from FUE Expert. You know, Dr. Juan Couto is considered by a lot of members of the hair loss community as the godfather of hair transplants. I mean, I'm certainly the biggest fan of Dr. Couto, but even I would confess that if the wrong patient presents to Dr. Couto and he indeed decides to proceed in doing his surgery, I wouldn't think he would deliver as much as a good result. And in fact, I think this is the strength point of Dr. Juan Couto, and this is why he has about 99% satisfaction among his patients. Dr. Couto has so much demand that he can comfortably choose which patients he will operate on, so that the results will almost always come up as perfectly. So if you have diffused alopecia, Dr. Couto is the one to go. I mean, look at these results. He just perfected the art of transplanting new hairs between the DHT sensitive hairs in the thinning areas without actually damaging them. I remember reading once that he cleans the hair grafts and sort of removes the excess fats before transplanting them. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure if this is true, but this is why we see these unrealistic results for such a few number of grafts, something Dr. Couto is notorious with. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more hair content and like the video. But now, if you didn't have diffuse thinning, if you were instead a Norwood 3 with vertex thinning, I wouldn't actually recommend Dr. Couto, I would recommend HLC Turkey. Again, not that Dr. Couto can't operate on such cases, but HLC Clinic has a lot of surgeons that have multiple years experience specifically doing such cases, and especially for half price of what Dr. Couto offers. The strength point of HLC, in my opinion, is the way and the technique with which they do their dance packing. I've always enjoyed watching this case that they shared on their YouTube channel. Perfect hairline with correction in the vertex. And this is the before and after. I mean, they basically transformed this guy's life with one of the best hairlines I've seen in the industry. I mean, I should emphasize about their technique in dance packing. Such a beautiful result. They're also very transparent, I feel like, in terms of the lighting in their after videos, which I like. So yeah, HLC is the clinic I would consider if I was a Norwood 3 vertex. Definitely. And the last category of patients I wanted to mention in this video are patients who wish to do a mega session. I mean, these are patients who usually have an extensive hair loss. Their hair loss usually begins earlier in their youth, in their 20s, and they just want to do it all at once. And for this one, I will definitely go with Hattingen hair. This clinic is in Switzerland, but I think they recently opened in Germany as well, but I would prefer going to Switzerland actually. They do 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 graft sessions in the duration of 2 days, and their results are simply consistently good. Now again, these are not the only good places that are suitable for a hair transplant. You can find multiple ones in each patient category. I try to only share one place for each patient category, but you can find other ones. The one thing that I wanted to take from this video is that it's not really about the surgeon's skills. Yeah, it is, obviously, but in a big extent, the outcome of your surgery depends on how well you do your research in terms of choosing the best hair transplant surgeon for your type of hair loss. Don't just blindly go to any clinic that you hear good reviews on or maybe see good after pictures, because that same clinic can do bad results for your type of hair loss. So yeah, that's basically it. There are obviously other types of hair loss that I didn't cover in this video. I can maybe make a part 2 if you wish. You can write in the comment section. But yeah, I hope you found the video informative. Please press the like button and subscribe. And as always, stay safe.